Good morning. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I would really request you to please press subscribe and like so you can get notifications of all the future videos that I'll be uploading on the channel. Today, 31st of May 2020, probably the last day of the lockdown as far as India is really concerned. It is a very significant day because come 1st of June, there would be relaxation in terms of opening up of the Indian economies phase-wise. COVID-19 has been the biggest pandemic that has hit us in 100 years. In the last 60 days of lockdown, it has taught a lot of lessons, very significant lessons in terms of life as well as livelihood. With unemployment as high as 27% and in urban areas at 30%, money management has become the forefront that people should look at in these challenging and turbulent times. Today, what we are going to talk about is basically the 10 commandments of money management that we've learned as a result of COVID-19 that would help us organize our money and future in a better place. I am sure if all the viewers really follow these 10 commandments to the T, the money management would be much better in the future and would lead to long-term wealth creation. The first commandment, life nor livelihood really should be taken for granted. COVID-19 has really taught us a very important lesson that anyone can really get affected with the pandemic and with the disease, which will hamper one's ability really to be in active service, business or profession for a longer period of time. The underlying assumption that I would be working till 60 years has been really being questioned. Hence, one should really relook at that assumption and manage money in such a way that in case livelihood has been challenged and you may not have the ability to work till the age of 60 or thereabouts, or if there is a life-threatening disease, how would I invest and how would I save my money in order for my family to be protected for a better tomorrow? The second commandment, businesses can never be taken for granted. A lot of us are in businesses and professions where there is adequate cash flows and a lot of cash flow that really keeps coming on a weekly, monthly, and a yearly basis. And we have taken the profession and the business for granted. However, COVID-19 has really taught us a very, very big lesson. The lesson is you cannot really take businesses for granted because they can come to a grinding halt. Restaurants, small eateries, small businesses, hospitality sector, these were sectors where the cash flow from the business was enormous. And a lot of people owning the business really felt, what was the point of investing or making any investments when my business is flourishing and throwing out so much cash flow on a regular basis? However, with the business that has really stopped for the last couple of months and with really no visibility when these businesses will start, how will they really span out, at what capacity utilization will they start working? The biggest lesson is you cannot really take any business for granted and it can come to a grinding halt. Hence, irrespective of the kind of cash flow that comes from business, investing is extremely, extremely important. The third commandment, one should really look at an emergency fund. It's extremely important to keep some amount of money for emergency purposes, irrespective of the kind of lifestyle that you really enjoy. An emergency fund is extremely, extremely important. Emergency fund should really cover one, medical expenses, rent, if you're staying in a rented house, basic loan amounts that you really, really have to pay, and amount of money to really run your house. Ideally, the emergency amount should be anywhere between 3 months to 6 months as a basic amount of money that will help you to survive in case there is no free cash flow. Please remember, COVID-19 has resulted in millions of SMEs shutting down, and there is a lot of uncertainty as far as jobs are concerned. Hence, getting a job in this environment may take longer. It may take anywhere between 3 to 6 months. Hence, this is the core capital that one should really keep aside. Between 3 months to 6 months of expenses, probably keep it in a very secure bank fixed deposit. That will really help you survive that period without great tension. And this is of prime importance. The fourth commandment, leverage, that is loans, is a double-edged sword. In today's day and age, where it is very, very easy to really get a loan to buy a phone, a loan to buy a television, a loan to really go on a vacation, a loan to buy a car, and so on and so forth. In order to maintain a certain amount of lifestyle, a lot of us keep taking this loan with the underlying assumption that we're going to work over a period of time and pay this loan back. However, COVID-19 has really taught us a lesson, big lesson, that this assumption that we keep working over a period of time and paying this loan will not really hold true. Hence, beyond a certain point, leverage, that is taking loans after loans, is really a double-edged sword. So be careful. Yes, taking a home loan, a place to live in, probably would be a necessity. Taking a few other loans like education loan and so on and so forth, depending on the circumstances that one has in his or her life, is of necessity. But leveraging for every single product that is really there, that is really take it today and pay tomorrow, may not really hold true. And really, it will get you in the indebtedness mess that will really happen. And it will add a lot of pressure to your well-being as well as livelihood. The fifth commandment, and a very, very significant commandment, is really treat insurance as an asset class and look at actively investing as far as insurance is concerned. A lot of us really invest in plain vanilla term policies, basically, which are contingent liabilities, that God forbid something happens to the breadwinner of the family, a certain amount of money would go to the beneficiaries. However, COVID-19 has taught us a very, very important lesson. That it's not only about life, but also about livelihood. At various steps in life, large amounts of money are really required. Probably when your children want to get into college, children get educated, for children's marriage, and for medical expenses. Hence, this periodic lump sums that are really required can really come in through two means. One, through active cash flows and investments that you really looked at. Or second, very good insurance products that really have a guaranteed return over a period of time. Hence, please look at insurance as an asset class and look at a good insurance policy and invest a certain amount of total portfolio into investments as an asset class rather than plain vanilla term life policies. The sixth commandment, diversification, really is the key for wealth creation. For the first time in 100 years, in March of 2020, all asset classes, equities, commodities, gold, all went down together. But that doesn't really happen. Normally, asset classes really have negative correlation with each other. That is, probably when equity markets go up, gold really goes down. And similarly, when really gold is really booming, the equity markets are in some sort of trouble. So hence, in these turbulent times, the debt market, equity market, and probably the commodity market move in certain directions. And in order to take best advantage at the retail level, you should have a well-diversified portfolio across all of these asset classes. Hence, please make some amount of investments into equity as an asset class, debt as an asset class, gold as an asset class, so that you can get maximum advantage at a portfolio level. That is, when one asset class really crashes, the other asset class really helps at the overall portfolio level. What we've really seen in the last 12 months, the equity markets have really gone down. However, gold is giving a return in excess of 25%. So if there was adequate investments made across asset classes at an overall level, the complete wealth of a person would really be protected. Hence, asset classification and diversification is the key to wealth creation in the long term. The seventh commandment is really to get a clear understanding of match the asset class with the time horizon that you're looking at. Just as we've seen in the sixth commandment, that diversification at a portfolio level is extremely important. The biggest mistake that people and investors really make is look at a wrong time horizon for a wrong asset class. If you're really looking at real estate, it is a good asset class, but however, the time horizon for return should be relatively longer. If you're looking at equity as an asset class, the time horizon should be a medium to a long-term horizon. And if you're looking at a short-term period in terms of investing, you should really look at the debt markets. The problem happens when investors look at various other classes with the wrong time horizon. So never make an investment probably in the equity market for a very short period of time. At the same time, never look at real estate for a quick return in terms of a very short period of time. Hence, what is important is to be very clear on what is the time horizon that you will really associate it with the asset class. If the time horizon is anywhere between, say, 12 months to about 18 months, please look at debt as an asset class. If a time horizon is between 18 months to approximately 48 months, about 4 years, equity as an asset class should be a fantastic asset class. And if your time horizon is 5 years and beyond, you should look at real estate as well as a great asset class. Hence, the most significant point is really match the time horizons with the appropriate asset class to really result in wealth creation in the long term. The eighth commandment, please remember that financial markets really move on liquidity and the economy on fundamentals. A lot of y'all must be wondering, what has changed since the March 23rd and 24th to probably 31st of May, that the equity markets have really rallied and certain stocks have really risen by 40 to 50%. On ground, there has been no improvement. In fact, the economy has taken a greater hit due to the extended lockdown that is really there. But the equity markets seem to be dancing in a different tone. Well, the reality is, due to the amount of liquidity that is coming in the equity markets, thanks to the US Federal Reserves with their policy of pumping in large amount of money in the equity markets with the hope that it will really benefit the main street, the equity markets have been going up over a period of time. Hence, everyone should really remember that there would be a large disconnect that will really happen in terms of what is going on in the economy and what is really going on as far as the equity markets are concerned. And hence, investing becomes a very, very significant part of money management, wherein your business on fundamental factors that you're really performing is not doing well. However, your investments are doing extremely well due to the liquidity that has really been generated in these markets. And it is very important to have substantial amount of investments to really help at the overall portfolio level. The ninth commandment, and probably one of the most significant commandments, is choose a financial advisor very, very wisely. Treat a financial advisor as a financial doctor. When we fall ill, do we go to the best doctor or do we go to the doctor that will probably treat us with the least amount of money? The answer is we would probably go to the best doctor. Hence, please remember, choose a financial advisor very, very carefully. Look at the amount of knowledge that he or she really has, the kind of exposure that he or she really has. In India, the trend is a lot of people choose a financial advisor with the maximum amount of rebate that a financial advisor there really gives you. The question is, because of the 2% or 5%, are you ready to risk 98% of your capital with that financial advisor? The key in these turbulent times where economic knowledge is of great importance, market knowledge is of great importance, the financial advisor that you really have will make the difference in wealth creation in the long term. You may look at a financial advisor as a family doctor, and you should really look at him or her in a very holistic manner, and please choose the right financial advisor. And always remember, quality always comes at a price. The 10th commandment, a very significant commandment, is the order in which one should really proceed in terms of money management. One should really look at earning, saving, investing, and then spending. India has been known as a land wherein a lot of people save substantial amount of money for the future generation as well as for future uncertainty. However, over the last decade, with the amount of globalization that's really happened and the amount of brands that have really come into India, this order has really changed. What a lot of youngsters are really looking at is really earning, spending, If anything is really left, they would end up saving or investing. COVID-19 has taught a very, very significant lesson that you may enjoy a certain amount of lifestyle till the cash flow or till employment is really on. However, there's a lot of uncertainty in terms of life as well as livelihood. Hence, you should really look at earning earning a lot of money, saving a lot of money, investing a part of that money, and from that, what is left is really spending the amount of money. COVID-19 has really taught us that in these uncertain times, the world is a globalized place. Today, we've really seen over the last 2 months, we've been using technologies like Zoom and so on and so forth, and connecting to people around the world with a click of a button. Hence, in my opinion, globalization is here to stay, and it will amplify over a period of time. Earlier, globalization was at a nation-to-nation level, but now globalization would be at a person-to-person level. Hence, in these globalized times, COVID-19 may not be the last pandemic that we are really witnessing. There could be certain pandemics or certain diseases that could come in the future, and that could affect really the cash flow and businesses as they've affected right now. Hence, the sooner one really looks at adopting the 10 commandments of money management, the better it is. Hence, for long-term prosperity and wealth creation, the 10 commandments that we've mentioned are extremely, extremely important. And the sooner one really starts adopting one by one all together, it will really lead to wealth creation and prosperity over a period of time. Thank you so much.